Fawad, first of all, welcome to Bollywood Hangama and as well as India as well. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
At the same time, talking about what's going through your mind, I'm sure you must be really excited. The kind of response that promo has been got so far. There's so much of tweets. There's so much talk about on the social network. Have been positive. So, what kind of feedback are you getting so far?
I'm actually completely floored by the kind of response that we're getting. And excuse me, you could just cut for a second.
ये कैमरा नीचे ऑफ कैमरा लुक रहा है इसलिए तो ऑफ शोल्डर बोला था Yeah, we're talking about the response and what's going on.
First of all, I'm completely floored by the response that I've been getting from people. Kind of warm response and positive response to the film is obviously very pleasing and very flattering at the same time. I'm excited, but at the same time nervous about how it's going to turn out when the film actually releases. So I'm just praying for the best, and I wish the audience to pray the best for us as well.
But what is the best compliment you heard so far after the promo has been released?
After the promo that has been released, the best compliment is that he's looking like a real prince. So I'm like, okay, at least I fit the bill, and I've played the character to what it was required to look like. So up till now, that is, I think, that is the best compliment for any actor would be that they're fitting the bill for their character. Right. So that's the same with me.
But at the same time, talking about you have done pretty well at the Pakistani in terms of the kind of work you have done. Whether you talk about films, whether you talk about TV serials, coming back to this is a completely new territory.
It is.
You're talking about the films and character as well. So how much you look forward to? Were you apprehensive in terms of what really made you sign this film?
Well, to be very honest, what made me sign this film was initially and most importantly and primarily, what still would be, is to get out of my comfort zone and to sort of get into a new comfort zone. I'm not saying that it's an uncomfortable zone. It's a completely new comfortable zone, and obviously you come in with some sort of nervousness when you work with a new lot of people. But most importantly, I think it is that the amount of experience that India has in film and filmmaking, for me it is an education, to understand how systems work, because we're repropping our industry, and I think it would be a valuable contribution, be it India or be it any part of the world, where films are a trend. And I think it's so convenient that our neighboring country is where it has been happening for 100 years, and they've mastered the craft to the extent that they've won over a global audience. So with respect to that, I'm able to actually take back a certain form of education. So for me, it has been more importantly an educational experience when it comes to filmmaking, and I'd like to incorporate that in some way or the other back at home as well.
But at the same time, do you have something in your mind in terms of any politics does and don'ts in terms of the kind of background you come from?
Yeah.
There are restrictions in terms of the films and series kind of rule, but at the same time, in India, the films are quite liberal and completely on a different stage. So do you have something particular in mind in terms of this is what I need to when I go in India? This is kind of films that I need to do, but at the same time to satisfy my inner artist, at the same time not affecting any sentiments of your country people. Do you have something in mind, please?
I think it's the most difficult thing for any artist is to not offend the audience. But having said that, there are some things that there are bitter truths, because cinema is actually a representation, or for that matter, any visual medium or audio medium, or for that matter, any art form, is in some way or the other it depicts our society or problems and the good things and the bad things that are rooted within any society around the world or within any community. So far, I think there's nothing that is that offensive as far as this film is concerned. But yes, I do understand that there are more liberal approaches here towards cinema, which is something that I, for now, have not had maybe it's convenient, because I'm sure that the audience might or might not get offended by a liberal approach, but for this film, that was not required. But as far as working in the future is concerned, if there is something that actually satisfies me as an artist and feels justified, for me, the biggest thing is, and that this is the biggest reason why I don't work very often, is if something does not feel justified, I really don't like to attempt that. I mean, if I don't think I can do justice to it, I don't attempt that. So in the future as well, not dodging your question, but as far as approaching visually on how to connect what happens within our communities, within life, and bring it to the screen, that conversion, if that requires me to talk about it, does not necessarily have to be nudity. It does not necessarily have to be physical intimacy on screen. It can very well be just anything that might not be accepted by the audience but should be presented to educate them. If that is a leap that I have to take, then I will take that leap of faith. But for now, I think what has been required of me up till now is something that I think my audience will be comfortable with.
Yeah, that's good.